We begin with breaking news on CBS 4 News at 6. Copter 4 flies over a fiery crash at I-70 in Colorado Mills Parkway. At least 5 cars and 3 semi-trucks went up in an absolute inferno. There are injuries, but we don't know how many just yet. And for now, no reports of fatalities. You can see, though, this massive chain reaction crash has the interstate shut down at 6 o'clock.
Video from just an hour ago shows how big this crash was. Cars and trucks exploding. Fire crews working hard down there to try and get this one under control and stop all the explosions. You saw one just there.
CBS 4's Jeff Todd, among the crew members here at CBS 4, racing out to that scene late today. Jeff, what do you have?
Jim, we've talked to a couple eyewitnesses, and this was a very scary situation. Now, we have seen that the Jeffco Sheriff's Office, even some CDOT vehicles, have essentially set up a command post here on eastbound I-70. Now, in talking to eyewitnesses, this is what they said had happened. A little earlier this afternoon, there was another crash further down I-70, and so it had backed up traffic. Traffic was not moving, but then a semi came racing down, some people estimating 70, 80, maybe even 90 miles per hour in the right shoulder of these eastbound lanes of I-70, and just past these trees that we're showing you, we're told that that's when the semi swerved back into traffic. Some eyewitnesses saying that they heard dozens of explosions over the course of several minutes. It's many people saying that the semi that was headed down the shoulder did not have anything close to brakes and was not slowing down at all. A frightening scene for many people to see because, as I mentioned, I-70 was essentially completely at a stop still, and many people not only witnessed this crash but couldn't do anything about it because they were stuck in the lanes. We have seen a massive response from West Metro Fire Department, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, Lakewood Police Department, all going to try and piece together exactly what happened in this fiery crash. But as of right now, that massive inferno is now just a whisper of smoke. We're live in Lakewood. Jeff Todd, covering Colorado First.
All right, Jeff, thanks very much.
Traffic in this area, as you heard Jeff mention, has shut down, tying up the interstate on the west side of town. I-70 closed in Denver West. This is at the Colorado Mills Parkway. We talked with one driver behind the crash scene on CBS 4 News at 5 o'clock.
Smoke is still billowing nonstop. The flames seem to have subsided slightly, but the smoke is relentless at this point.
Are there any people along with you, Andrew, that perhaps maybe pulled over, perhaps stuck in traffic, who just decided to pull over and see how this plays out?
Yes, there are people on the side of the highway. There was a number of gentlemen who were on the back of their truck. I did see one nurse. It looks like she got out of her car, ran over to see if she could provide any assistance. And I think by that time, there was probably, I want to say, 4 to a half dozen fire trucks in addition to ambulances that had arrived.
Now, that was during CBS 4 News at 5. Right now, we have Douglas Ingalls joining us on the phone. Douglas was driving along I-70. Tell us what you saw, and also, Douglas, what you heard.
Well, I was headed home from work, and I live in Bailey, and I was driving westbound on I-70. And because of the accident at Ward Road, the previous accident at Ward Road, and I-70 was shut down there, and they were putting everybody off, traffic was at a standstill out there. I was going westbound, and the traffic on the eastbound side was barely at a crawl or a standstill, except for this one semi coming down with that one loaded with lumber, and he looked like he was running the right shoulder of the eastbound side of I-70 at about 70 miles an hour.
So Douglas says some people have said it would appear it might have been a truck driver who had lost his brakes.
Well, I suppose that's entirely possible, but I mean that's a long ways down the hill for losing brakes to not slow down at all. I mean,
so when you saw that happen, what was the next thing? You saw this semi going the opposite direction. At that point, tell us what happened after that. Did you hear the impact?
I didn't hear the impact, but I was watching in my rearview mirror, and I saw a big flash of flame come up, and then within seconds, that big plume of black smoke came up right behind it. So
how soon after that, Douglas, did you start to hear the emergency sirens?
Oh, I mean, I continued on westbound on I-70, and there was cops and fire trucks coming And I got off on 470 and headed south, and there was even cops coming up 470.
Well, as you were going, as you were going south on 470s, off to your left, or perhaps in the rearview mirror, you certainly saw the inferno with the flames and the smoke.
Oh, absolutely. I saw the initial impact with the very first part of the explosion.
All right, Douglas Ingalls, glad you got through there safely, Douglas, and we appreciate the information you have been able to provide. Take care.
We also want to share this with you. A driver sitting in traffic may have captured the cause of this accident. In a moment, you're going to watch that runaway semi-truck speed right past him and his reaction to watching it.
Unbelievable. So here's the very latest. We know of no fatalities in this horrific crash. We do know several injuries confirmed. This is on I-70 at Denver West. The interstate shut down, happened just under the overpass there at Colorado Mills Parkway. We have seen at least 5 cars, let's call a couple of them SUVs or pickup trucks, and also 2 semi-trucks burning. Witnesses say they heard at least a dozen explosions. We'll continue to follow our top story.